Let us start with a happy note. Uh, Thank you very much again for joining. Today, I propose to discuss something which has come up before me during these holidays. A mother, a mother, asked for counseling session with her children on an issue, I think, which all of us are facing in our families. Not only we, but in fact, everybody is facing these problems. So I want to bring it to your notice, and then how I discuss with them instead of telling them from my side or from mother's side or from father's side. But in this case, the father was also not cooperative. The father was, least concerned, rather encouraging the child, and the mother was very much concerned, and she was, in fact, being pressurized. She was crying, in fact, physically, literally, she was crying. So I want to bring this to your notice. Whatever I will read here, I will say here, is not from my side, and it is, in fact, into inverted commas, but I have paraphrased and made it very precise from very well-known personalities like Bill Gates, Zuckerberg, and so many other tech leaders. Bill Gates, Zuckerberg, and other tech leaders, their advices, research, and studies on limiting kids' screen time. And behind this kids' screen time, there are many other stories. It's a different story that what they see, what they watch, how they play, what they play. I'm not discussing those issues. These are very grave. When the children when are using screen time, how they are using this screen time, and where they are using this screen time is also very important. In another case, a grown-up boy who's ready to go for medicine, and he's addicted to playing chess, although he argued that I'm not using it uh, in any manner, in anything which is morally not good. I'm using this time on in a game, which is simply a game which you otherwise play. You can play off screen also. So, but that has affected his studies. And in his, but I could understand, maybe he knows better, it has affected him in many other ways if I analyze it properly in moral ways. So anyway, leaving all those things aside, I'm not discussing all those things. I'm just concentrating on the scale. No, there is no advice from my so powerful that Alhamdulillah, I was able to convince those two children, one going to medicine now, going to a professional college, and the other, he's a kid. He's a small kid. He's, I think, almost crossing the middle school. Activities. And when I say offline activities, it mainly means human interaction, balancing screen time with not only non-screen activities, but it also increase underlines the time. We have not only to substitute it with non-screen objects like toys or any other thing, but with human activities. While keeping this in mind, this is the topic. Now we are going to discuss what these people have said. One of the articles which appeared in India, it's a very good article. Now it says, he emphasizes, the author emphasizes or they emphasize, the people there, they emphasize creativity and imagination, prioritizing healthy digital habits to ensure that children engage meaningfully beyond screens is very important. Beyond screen, what is happening? And when we substitute screen, what is going to happen beyond screen? It has a moral aspect also. These issues came before me during Ramadan. And I don't know that it was designed by God that most of these issues came before me during the counseling sessions during Ramadan, that the children, although they were fasting, but during the day they were sleeping, and at night they were using the screen. And in some cases, the parents were so much worried, and the parents did not have the access to their activity to examine the activity because they had a code, because of the privacy issues. And in one case, the child has warned his mother, that he's going to report to the police. And he has already reported to the school authorities that his mother doesn't allow these activities. And what is beyond screen? The parents are worried. In this digital age, technology pervades every aspect of daily life. Take CEOs and founders, even they themselves, I'll give their quotations. Even they face the unique challenge of this age in their families, how to regulate their own children's screen time. And here comes the legal aspects. Here come legal aspects also. The parents, some parents reported that it is very difficult to regulate because of the local laws, because of the school intervention and the counselors, or whatever type of counselors there are, other counselors in the city. Because of those interventions, they are not able to advise the children. If they raise the voice, it is reported to police that they are being pressurized, they are being scolded, they are being beaten up, and things like that. Many of these tech giants prioritize minimal technology use within their households to balance digital engagements. However, I don't know what methods they've applied, but it is reported, and I've seen in those reports, in those surveys, that the tech giants have found a way to regulate. This is the word which I've highlighted, regulate. Regulate the time, prioritize the minimal technology use, and balance that in the engagement, digital engagement. And then comes the question, it's a different question. Then comes the question, what is beyond the screen? And then utilize that to regulate that, to encourage that. The parents have to be careful to provide the substitute. And usually our parents, Muslim parents, as I could understand from their discussions, that they advise them to go for namaz, read Quran, read this thing, read that thing. But in other cases, they encourage their children to substitute this screen time with the toys or other activities. But one thing is still missing in both the cases: extreme religious and extreme non-religious. But there is something in between which needs to be understood, that is the human interaction. For example, the case of the adolescent child, almost an adult child who's going to the medicine. When he was not willing to give up chess, I agreed with him that, okay, you substitute screen with your father, with your brother, with your mother, play chess with them. And when they were not willing, I said that you find some friends company. but you want to play chess, let us, in the first stage, not give up the chess, but you give up the screen. Increase the human interaction. So these are other steps which are lying beyond this. This is not the time. I can't complete this during this lecture because there are other important things which are coming up. As I said, that these are from the tech giants. Silicon Valley, a survey shows that in the Silicon Valley, what is called Silicon Valley, you know that, spend significantly less time on screens than, for example, people in Texas, in Houston, at other places, compared to their peers across America, according to a survey published in The Information. Some CEOs even hire nannies, especially for this purpose. Nannies to monitor and limit their children's screen time. They pay them with commitment to developing healthy digital habits from early age. But around the world, in the world, there are very good examples also. For example, New Zealand, at the state level, Australia, at the state school levels, they have limited screen time. They have limited use of technology. They have issued instructions to the parents not to give iPhone to the children and not to give any Android to the children. And they monitor, they regulate screen time on their computer. And they also watch, edit, not edit, audit. They also audit. They audit their logbook on the screen, on the computer, on the phone, that on which websites they visited and how long. And were those websites permitted by the school or not? Now, these controls are being introduced in the world, but we don't know, and we are not able to do that. But the cases which I'm discussing, these are cases from different places where the parents have shown helplessness. The first issue is limiting the screen time. The second issue is what is the substitute? And then the next is that how to increase the human interaction. These questions will come, some hint will come during the discussion. With commitment to developing healthy digital habits, these have to be treated psychologically as digital habits because it has basically affected human brain, human mind, particularly the mind of the children. And this is the article which I was referring to, which has appeared in India, in Indian media. All these points are not mine. These are from the article which was published in India. Now, take CEO's advice on limiting screen time for children. Now I'm coming to specific personalities, celebrities. What they advise, how they advise. For example, Google CEO. He acknowledges the pervasive influence of technology. At least this is the first thing that these tech giants have acknowledged. Then, in an interview with BBC, he expressed concerns about digital world his children are growing up in. Now, the personal. They now think that this is not just a commercial issue, it's a social issue, a general issue, but now it is their personal family issue. I'm not talking about the faith. If I present this, make a presentation from the Quranic point of view, I may have to discuss it maybe differently. He says, he advocates digital literacy. He says, yes, it's okay. It's required that the children should know what is technology. There should be digital literacy. There should be computer literacy. There should be telephone literacy, Android literacy, and encourages his children But he encourages his children, starting from family, his children to establish their own boundaries, promoting sense of personal responsibility. This is psychology. وَنَفْسٍ وَمَا سَوَاهَا. It has affected the mind, as I said in the beginning. It has affected the brain. It has affected the personality, human conduct. I will come to that. In that a grown-up child, a person, adolescent person, now he has come to the border of uh, behavior, behavioral problems, bipolar, bipolarity, bipolar disorder, that has become obvious in that person. And when I pointed out to that, his father is a medical specialist, doctor. He was himself surprised that we didn't pay attention to the children, that how they are using the screen. We were not concerned about the time, but we had simply been using the parental controls from their childhood. Parental controls is a different thing. I'm not discussing the moral issue yet. There are enormous moral issues involved. I'm now still talking about the issues generally which everybody, irrespective of religion and moral considerations, is facing, their children are facing. Personal responsibility has to be, the sense of personal responsibility has to be increased. Now, Bill Gates, we have seen Google chief CEO. Now, what Bill Gates says. Bill Gates implements, note this, implements, these are not my words. I'll show you the reference. Implements robust restrictions, not just restrictions, but robust restrictions. He implements robust restrictions on his children's technology use. Gates revealed in interview with the Mirror that his children were not allowed. I asked these parents who were crying that find out how Bill Gates was able to implement the robust restrictions. He did not allow, and still the police does not interfere, the school did not interfere, and he was able to do that. And whether it is true, find out, look into that, how he was able to do that. His children were not allowed to have smartphones until the age of 14. But in Muslim families, during Ramadan, during Iftar, during Suhr, in the masajid, during Eid Namaz, I have seen telephones, smartphones in the hands of the children, small children. Furthermore, gadgets are off limits at the dinner table in Bill Gates' house. His children cannot bring the smartphones or other gadgets while they are sitting on the dining table. Balancing technology with offline interactions. And here I personally emphasize, if I have to put the word, I will say that balancing technology with human interactions. When we say simply offline interactions, it includes interaction with the toys, other objects, robots even. But here, if I say, I present it as balancing technology, I'm not talking of substitution, and Bill Gates is not talking of substitution. It is balancing technology with human interactions, human and other interactions, human and other offline interactions, you can say, but include the human interactions. This is very important. In interview with the Mirror, he said, Bill Gates said, his children were not allowed on their own cell phone. They were not allowed to have their own cell phones until the age of 14. He's not a poor man, but he did not allow them to have their own cell phone, to buy a cell phone. Here, another family said, mother and father said that their eldest son, he is still estranged with them, unhappy with them, to the extent of disobedience and disrespect, that the parents did not allow him, did not buy him a cell phone when he had just passed the middle school. He demanded that I passed middle school, now you should give me. And he is still estranged. He says now, Bill Gates says, we often set a time after which there is no screen time. No screen time. In my family, I'm talking of the period when there was no smartphone, but there was telephone, there was television. We had set a limit, time limit, that after 9 p.m., there no screen will be on in the house. There will be no television. It must be off. Any other thing must be off. The children must start preparing for the bed, go to bed, go to sleep by 10 o'clock. And Alhamdulillah, it worked. But it worked with love, to serve with love. You might have seen a film, it's an old film, I think from 60s, to serve with love, to teach with love. The name of the movie is To Serve with Love, Sidney Poitier's film, To Serve with Love, to teach with love. We often set a time after which there is no screen time. And in their case, in the case of the family of Bill Gates, that helps. That helps them to get sleep at a reasonable hour. As I said, that in my home, Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah, when we shut off television at 9 o'clock, the children were able to sleep by 10 o'clock. It took almost 1 hour to get them ready, to prepare them mentally, to put them in the bed, and to come to calm and to sleep. And these are the references. As I said, it's not my statement. These are the references. For every piece, I'm giving the references. Now, to help his children to sleep at reasonable time, Bill Gates also held off on providing his kids with cell phones until they turned 14. I've already mentioned, but this is another reference. He seeks to strike balance. Balance. Allah tatghaw. Allah tatghaw. This is the message. To strike a balance between use of technology. This is another sort of balance. Not only the balance between technology and offline use of toys, not only the balance between technology and human interaction, this is different kind of balance which he is talking about now. That is balance between use of technology for learning and social contact. Balance between use of technology for learning and the use of technology for social contact. Can't we have personal social contact? Can't we shake hand? Can't we hug? Can't we talk face to face? Can't we find a moment to talk to mother in the same house? I have seen children asking their mothers, asking their fathers, asking their servants on telephone, send me a cup of tea, send me coffee, send me this thing, deliver this in my room. They will not come out. They will not make a request to the mother, to the sister, to the servant. They will not ask them personally. This is what he is talking about. The balance the use of technology for learning and the balanced use of technology for social contact. We are sending Eid Mubarak on telephone only, on WhatsApp only. Yes, we cannot meet everybody, but prioritize. This time, coming Eid, I will meet at least three persons personally. I will talk to six persons on the telephone. I will speak. I will speak on video, six persons. I will speak with 12 persons just on voice call, not on video. And then rest of the people, I'll send them recorded voice, 20% recorded voice. At least they will listen to it. My voice, they will listen. I will send a video. And after that, if I have abundant thousands of people, I'll send with a click just Eid Mubarak or any post, for example. But prioritize. I'm talking of balancing. Here, Bill Gates is balancing use of technology for learning and social contact. Here, at the back of my mind, you must have observed, is the human contact. I'm adding this element, human contact. And that is necessary. It has created a distance with parents, with siblings, and living in the same house. This is the reference. And now we come to Zuckerberg. He is cautious about his children's screen time. Zuckerberg draws a line against excessive screen use for entertainment. Like I gave you the example of chess. The boy said, no, I'm playing chess. I'm not involved in any other immoral activity. Even entertainment, that has to be limited. And that boy with whom I spoke, and I had 4 or 5 sessions with him, he has come to the point of BOD. Zuckerberg draws a line against excessive screen use for entertainment. He emphasizes active engagement. Kindly note, this is another aspect. Bill Gates was talking about something different, and I did human aspect. And here, Zuckerberg is talking of another thing, that is active engagement over passive consumption. Most of the time, we are looking at the screen, even if there we feel that we are actively engaged in gaming, in a game. We are passively consuming. We are passively consuming something. Active engagement, actively, here I will use the word active human engagement. Not just engagement, but active human interaction, which is two-way interaction. Over passive consumption, radiating from the screen only, and destroying brain cells, destroying retinal cells, destroying very sensitive equipment in the nose, in the ears, in the skin, in the body, all night. And this was very severe, as I noted during the counseling sessions which took place during Ramadan. That these children, the people, even people themselves, their parents, they were doing the same thing. Whole night using the videos and smartphones, and during the day they were sleeping. This is the way they are fasting today. To promote meaningful interactions. And here I add the word. Zuckerberg has not used it, but I am using the word, adding the word meaningful human interactions. Particularly human interactions, these are my words in the bracket. Beyond digital screens, come out of the screen. Your mother cannot come, you cannot come out of the screen to meet your mother. Come out of your room. This is the point. You cannot come out of the screen. The mother is waiting, her arms are empty, although stretched towards you to find you, to hug you. She can't hug you on a screen. She can't express her love. She can't satisfy her love with you on a screen. I'm talking of mother, talking of father. Come out of the screen. And to come out of the screen, you have to come out of the bedroom, from your office. And this is the reference. The reference will also come. Zuckerberg himself monitors the screen. He has not left it to his wife only. Monitors screen time with his kids. He gives personal time. Zuckerberg told Fox News, I don't generally want my kids to be sitting in front of a TV or a computer for a long period of time. If you find that your children are sitting for a long time in front of the screen, I advise the parents, don't tell them that don't sit for a long time. Don't, abruptly remove the remote, or you close it. Do something that diverts their attention, which takes them off the screen. These are children. Children learn by example. You keep sitting before the screen and you tell them to now shut off and go to sleep. This will not work. You will have to do something different. You will have to create a model in yourself. You will have to divert their attention. Children learn by model, by observation, not just by orders. You can't tell them everything. To the alpha generation, particularly the generation which is born after 2010. And even the Z generation, the millennium generation, you cannot dictate them. But I have seen that in the post-modernism, period of post-modernism, which has come after modernism, this period has thrown off. It has not in words only, in written words only, but in practically, not in their just verbally, in their manifestos, in their charters, in their constitutions of their associations, constitutions or bylaws of their associations which they have formed, like LGBTQ. They have taken off the yoke of family legacy, family leadership, parental leadership, patriarchy, family. They have broken all these bonds. Look at their literature. Kindly don't close your eyes. Look at their literature. What literature is, being printed, being circulated. This is the reference. I think since we started a little bit late, I'll finish with Zuckerberg, and if you like, we can continue this next week. Otherwise, I'll come back to our Quran lecture. But I thought this is very important as it came before me during Ramadan, during counseling sessions. Zuckerberg doesn't let his kids on social media. This is very important. He doesn't allow his children to use social media. Will somebody believe? Will anybody believe? If we don't believe, the reference is here. Verify, challenge it. Maybe it's wrong. Your attention is your most valued asset. What does this mean? Taqwa can't be without attention. With taqwa cannot be without commitment. When you are using social media, when you are using passive consumption, your attention is somewhere else. You lose attention. You can't concentrate. And while discussing with these two examples which I've given, these two children, one from middle school and the other an adolescent person, they had a problem of attention. And this is the asset to which Zuckerberg is pointing out that this is affected, not only affected, this gets destroyed. Now, here I'm closing this. After this, there are other personalities also involved in this business, but they are not allowing this in their families. They are regulated. They are substituting. They are creating balance. Although they are not discussing the moral issues, which we can discuss in the perspective of Quran. After we finish this series of discussion, we can go to the moral side. Subhana Rabbika Rabbil Izzat Amma Yasifun wa Salamun alal Mursaleen walhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen.
اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه. اللهم اهدنا فيمن هديت وعافنا فيمن عافيت وتولنا فيمن توليت وبارك اللهم لنا فيما أعطيت وقنا واصرف عنا شر ما قضيت. اللهم ادخلنا برحمتك في عبادك الصالحين. اللهم اخرجنا من ظلمات الجهل والوهم إلى نور العلم. اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا وزدنا علما. اللهم اجعلنا ممن يستمعون القول فيتبعون أحسنه. اللهم أوزعنا أن نشكر نعمتك التي أنعمت علينا وأن نعمل صالحا ترضاه. اللهم اصلح لنا في ذرياتنا إنا تبنا إليك وإننا من المسلمين. Oh Allah, spread your mercy upon us, shower us with your blessings, increase our knowledge, grant us forgiveness, and reward us with the company of the prophets in the Firdaus al-A'la. Oh Allah, forgive our parents and all our friends and relatives who have passed away. Oh Allah, make their graves garden from heaven and grant them the Firdaus al-A'la. Oh Allah, we have many of our friends and relatives who are sick. Oh Allah, we have our son Ma'raj, our daughter Aisha Wani, and several others. Oh Allah, grant all of them full and speedy recovery. Oh Allah, guide our children, protect them, and make them righteous. Oh Allah, we seek from you all of the good, whether we know it or we don't. And we seek your refuge from all evil, whether we know it or we don't. Oh Allah, we have many of our brethren who are suffering and under oppression. Oh Allah, heal their trauma, protect their helpless, and grant them lasting peace and prosperity. O Allah, we ask you with every name you have elected for yourself, that none of us leave this gathering, but his pains have been relieved, his worries have been removed, his debts have been paid, his weaknesses have been concealed, his sins have been forgiven, and his needs have been fulfilled. سبحان الله وبحمده عدد خلقه ورضا نفسه وزنة عرشه ومداد كلماته. سبحان الله وبحمده عدد خلقه ورضا نفسه وزنة عرشه ومداد كلماته. سبحان الله وبحمده عدد خلقه ورضا نفسه وزنة عرشه ومداد كلماته. والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر. آخر دعوانا أن الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على خير المرسلين. اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه والسلام عليكم.